Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Will Cheese Fail sent in by you, the fans, to Lifesaglitchtv at gmail.com. Mr. Maximus Black.
Yes.
Hit me up with the sound of entering into year 14 of LAGTV.
Oh my God. How?
It's a great question.
That's actually
It's a great
insane.
fucking question.
Like when you
It's
think
at the
about
end of this month.
Is it really? Oh, that's right. No, at the end of November. Oh, no.
No,
Yeah,
it's
the end of
this month.
October. Holy shit, you're
Yeah,
right.
end of October. Yeah.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck.
14, entering the 14th.
Damn, dude. That's kind of insane.
Yeah.
Like when you think about it.
Yeah.
14 years?
Crazy.
And these guys and gals out there
Crazy.
are still watching
I
our
know.
ass and supporting.
Also crazy.
And we
How
love
many
you.
of you have been here since since the 6 pool cheese tutorial video that Mr. Mr.
I don't think
Black
there's
put
many.
up?
I don't think there's many, but there's probably a lot from Niskel, like the
Episode
canon,
8
yeah,
Niskel,
episode
yeah.
8, because episode 8, 6, 7, and 8.
6, 7, and 8. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what put
Those
us
are
on the map.
big ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Wow, we got a little cannon rush going here. Brought a couple of probes down. Already lost one of them. Putting out another pylon. Very interesting. Not sure if he's just... Oh, okay, well, this is going to finish, so that's not going to be good here for Zerg. But again, when you are cannon rushing a Zerg player, you got to be careful because they can put down a spine crawler, basically just stop all pushing forward because you only can get so close with creep, and then you almost got to make sure that a drone doesn't leave the base to go build a hatch somewhere else. And, well...
And there it goes.
There it goes.
And it's gone.
Just like that.
And just like that, you've spent a whole bunch of money for very little kickback, unfortunately, on this.
Nexus here, maybe. Maybe he just goes balls to the wall and just builds a Nexus here, gets a gateway, and then starts, pushing in.
I just feel like the cannons aren't close enough to the Nexus to not, to stop any kind of Zergling or anything harassment at the mineral line. He'd have to, like, commit another cannon or something. But yeah, the gateways for sure, and there goes the first one. But yeah, unfortunately, like you said, you've got to make sure that drone does not get outside of the base, and it did.
Yep.
And so that's not going to be very fun, unfortunately, for Snot Lout.
Yeah, and he's going to lose his
Didn't
probe.
even announce.
Oh, why did he not just go after that probe?
Oh
He brought over his lings over to here for what? He's killed that probe, man. That probe is the thing that's going to keep building shit in your base. And once shield batteries and stuff go down, you're actually in trouble. Like, legit. Because, smartly, Snot, he went and got an assimilator the moment he put down his gateway. Once his gateway finishes, he should immediately put down the core in here. And if I was him, I'd be going into Stalkers, because then you can use your Stalker range to kind of poke. And he can't really go in there with Zerglings because you can just run your Stalker sort of backwards, and these cannons are going to do the work, especially if you put down a shield battery. Then you can be really aggressive with your Stalker play. But meanwhile, he's just patrolling around with his Zerglings doing nothing.
A little weird. Little bit of an odd choice. I'm not sure what he expects to go over there anytime soon. His opponent is committed so much to this cannon rush. It's not like there's going to be 5 Zealots show up.
Yeah.
On your doorstep anytime soon. The first one is about to pop here as the Cyber Core finishes, so Bob will pop just shortly after the Cyber Core, and that means that a Stargate. We're going right into. Do you think he's going to bother with Oracle or go straight to a Void Ray, Mr. Black?
I mean, I don't actually know. Probably Void Ray, or he can be real cheeky and go right into Tempest. Because then he's going to have the range. But problem is you're going to be waiting a long time to get Tempest, because you still got to get your fleet beacon, then you got to build a Tempest. I mean, by that time, Ravagers are already starting to come out, so Hotfire mixtapes are about to be coming down like a lollipop. And once that happens, it's just a matter of time before you just lose.
No, there he's going to build the shield battery to slow down the Ravager damage, and luckily there's only one, so
yeah,
he's got time.
He's got a bit of time.
Building more cannons is an interesting choice, and probably not necessary at all. I'd rather just see him put that into more units or something out of that Stargate, which he just does not feel like using to this time. got that Adept going in to see what's over. He's going to find that base. Now 2 Ravagers able to do work. Down goes the first cannon. They've got more support now from Roach that are also going to be converted. And look, really, Snotlout has got a very small window here.
He does.
To solidify this and make this work. A Void Ray with 2 shield batteries is definitely dangerous.
Yeah.
But this Ravager count keeps going up. He's still going to have some work to put in, Mr. Black.
Yeah, and he still has 2 queens here as well. The problem is as he continues to fire down these mixtapes, the shield batteries are actually using their charge, and he's going to need the charge for the Void Rays. He needs to put down more shield batteries and just stop with cannons. Cannons at this point is doing nothing for you. You've already got 2 here. Casey wants to bring in the Lynx for added help, but what he needs is he needs lots of batteries because he needs to keep this 1 Void Ray alive and wait for the second one to pop. And Noel here is doing a fantastic job at just being aggressive now. It's exactly what he needs to do. Cannot wait this out any longer. He just needs to go. Unfortunately for him, he's taken a lot of damage to these queens from this cannon here in the back, and he's going to lose possibly. Why is this cannon not attacking the queen? He needs to get rid of the queen. And the mixtape's getting rid of that Void Ray. He needed to keep that alive, man. If he would have kept that second Void Ray alive, he'd be in a very different position right now. Is going to be able to hold, but that probe is dead, and he can't build any more batteries. So I think this attack is basically going to be ending here very soon.
Yeah, there go the mixtapes. He's really trying to get rid of this pylon to stop this last unit coming out of that Stargate. It is another Void Ray. It looks like he might not be able to get it in time. If the Queen helps, it looks like he might be able to get in there in time. Maybe the last mixtape down after the death. Yep. Queen hit it. Okay. All right. Oh, oh sweet Lord. See, all right, I got a little scared there, diverted the attention from the Queen. I didn't think it was going to happen, but it did, and now he cancels and he has to go home, and now Snotlout is up shit's creek and definitely does not have a paddle, Mr. Black.
No, he doesn't, and the thing is if he would have just kept that first Void Ray alive and he had ample amount of time to do such, I think he just wins the game. Like, straight up, because none of this would have happened. He still would have had his stuff there. His third Void Ray would have already been popped. And there's only 1 queen left. I mean, it would have been it. Unfortunately for him, that's not the way it went down. But I will give him this. He's doing an okay job behind here. Getting a Nexus is a bit late, but he is fully saturated. He's long-range mining because he's realized, hey, if I have, 18 probes on this, I'm not getting any more minerals. So he's long-range mining the gold. But unfortunately, the Zerg here still has this natural. And now the third is going up. So it's not necessarily a reset. Zerg is definitely ahead, but Protoss, please, bro, you could have had this if you just would have microed just a little bit better and keep those Void Rays alive. When you are doing shield Void Rays with shield batteries, your #1 priority is keeping your Void Rays alive at all costs. You cannot lose those. Once you do, that's the show.
Yeah, that's just an unfortunate way to lose this game, and make no mistake, this game is almost guaranteed now to go in the favor of the Zerg, although it is LAGTV, and you never know who's going to throw on LAGTV. It could still happen, but yeah, geez, well, like you were saying, could have been a totally different scenario with very little difference in play, really. Yeah. Like moving the Void Ray 4 feet to the right,
yes,
butterfly effect, he wins the game.
Yes.
Like, that's kind of like how minimal that was. It's not like the ask was for him to do some sort of insane micro or some crazy shit. It was just, unfortunately, he left it sit there. He didn't move it. He allowed it to get hit by freaking mixtape after mixtape. The Queen chipped in, and now he's on the back foot. He's not completely out of the game, of course, but he is definitely on the back foot still, and Tempests will help him get back in, but he's going to need to be left alone long enough to get numbers. And to that point, we'll have to wait and see just how aggressive the Zerg is, or if the Zerg is just, because sometimes we've seen this happen where, it takes a little while to clear out, the forward base, and once they finally do it, it's like they breathe out, and then they go, okay, it's time for me to macro.
Yeah.
And then they just sit back at home, and they don't do anything. Yeah. And it ends up kind of biting them in the ass. That could still happen here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Tempest switch. There's really nothing in play that's going to do any considerable damage. I mean, we do have a Hydralisk Den, but there are no Hydras out yet, and Snot doesn't even see the Hydralisk Den, so I'm not against this. He is heavily supply blocked. Would have preferred him to keep that gateway alive and then just start mining one of these crystals. That way he at least has a gateway in play. Now he has 0 gates. None. So he can't even just warp in one Bob to do a job. None of that. So he's banking heavily on Tempests doing all of the work. And I'm just not sure that that's going to be feasible here with the sheer amount of queens. He's going to have to micro his ass off. And he needs about 6 to 8 of these things. But this is a good position for him to be in. Like, in this little corner
absolutely.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, it gives him just enough to get on the outside of all these queens. He does have to be careful because that, you know, the Tempest got the range. The Void Ray will die pretty quick if not minding his business here as he goes to attack on the counter, which I like.
Yes.
I like that he's going up here with this. You know, the rest of Snotlout's forces are down at the bottom of the map, and they are slow as shit. So unless he recalls to be able to get back into the fight, the Zerg army might be able to get some work done. He's kind of wasting some time up here at the ramp at the front as another Tempest pops out, and he's got nothing to really shoot it other than a handful of Hydra, and he refuses to recall. Why? Was there not 2?
He recalled
Tempests
1
before.
There was 3, but he recalled 1.
Misclicked.
Oh, no.
Shambles! A misclick lets him lose the base, and he might lose both.
He's gonna lose 2 bases. As long as this guy focuses down on a Nexus, but he's dick is hard for this pylon here. I mean, go for it. I mean, listen, if you're not going to go after the Nexus, go after the next best thing, and that is all the probes. And all of the probes are dying very, very quickly. Very well played here from Null. That was a great counterattack, because if he would have sat down there and played cat and mouse down at the down at his natural, he would have slowly been dying, and Snot would have continued to get more and more into the game. Now he's got virtually no probes. He's got a lot of
he's got a lot of Tempests, so I mean so they're upgraded too. So I mean, the thing is now we're at a point where yeah, he definitely did. I mean, really, it's the fact that Null has so much minerals that is going to be the saving grace for him here, I think, because that is a lot of Tempests, and they are upgraded, and they do a lot of damage, and they have the range, and so you know, despite how good of an attack that was, he's going to have to prepare for this. He can't just let them walk into the base and go to work.
Yeah.
He is building a lot of Mutalisks right now, and he's going to need several because holy shit. He did go to work, but he's got some left to do.
He's got some left to do, and he's making a small mistake here where he's just hotkeyed all of this stuff together. He really needs to hotkey the Void Ray on a separate hotkey and allow these units to go after the Void. So, because if you're stutter stepping these Tempests as well, you're really losing out on some DPS. And he just needs to, there you go. Now he's just moving one Tempest, which is what you want to do when they're focusing down on one thing. Because if you start stutter stepping all of them, you're losing a significant amount of damage over time. So you really have to think about, you know, almost like a bait and switch. You're going to want to use one Tempest or one Void Ray to do all of the baiting.
You're trying to clump them too, right? You're basically trying to corral them into a group to get the splash damage. Now, we do have 2 more in production. He lost 1 in that first fight. Oh, he's 1 HP off. Like, he can't quite one-shot them. That is so depressing for him, I'm sure. And now we're going to have Corruptors, and he can't fight Corruptors just getting healed by a bunch of Queens. Nor does he want to make the same mistake of just going back and just taking damage for free while he loses another expansion to the Zerglings.
He's got it.
I think he's just going to let it.
I mean, he's got energy. You need to recall. Like, he should have recalled the moment that that's not a good trade. When you have basically no probes left, that is a bad trade. If he would have recalled back at home with like 5 Tempests, he would have now had 7 Tempests. He would have been able to defend this lane push and any other Corruptors that are going to come up. But instead, he decided to trade for what? It's not good.
Well, he traded for more or less the game at this point because, I mean, while he does have minerals, he doesn't really have the gas to continue to produce Tempests as he did, and he had 6 at the first. He had 2 more here that he could have added to that, but he overextended after losing 1. Got a little too deep in there. He's going to be able to produce 1 more by the looks of it before he's going to have to wait ages on the follow-up, and at this point, it's just Corruptors and Lings will win the game, and that's what we're seeing, I think.
Corruptors are going to piss on this Nexus. Yeah, and this is basically a play-by-play action of my asshole over the last 18 hours, and I'm not joking. Similar color and everything. It's just not good. And
it's
just like that.
Time all around.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, hey, solid. A lot of mistakes.
Not bad.
But solid. I'm not against this one. This was decent.
Solid, much like the shits you're hoping to take.
Oh,